Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here, you have not already, please consider subscribing and helping us feed a hungry hippo. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So today I'm going to ask you guys a question. How much time in a day are you wasting? Like how much time are you actually wasting on things you don't need to be spending your time on? So are you ready? I'm going to give you some more homework. A lot of this bullet journal series has been me telling you to make this list or keep track of that. And it's all super important. And there is a reason behind every single list, every single tracking I've asked you guys to do. So today we're going to keep track of our breaks. So this will take a little bit of discipline and reminding yourself. But every time you stop working to do something else, I want you to write it down. And if you can get the exact time you spent on it, that's great. If you can get an approximate time, that's just as good. Like I said in the video about schedules, sometimes close enough is good enough, right? But for an entire week, maybe even 2 weeks, I really want you to be honest with yourself, okay? I'm never going to see this list. No one else, unless you choose to show it to them, is ever going to see this list. So you could be completely honest with yourself and you can say, I spent 45 minutes on TikTok. I spent 15 minutes staring out the window. I spent 10 minutes dancing in the hallway. I productively, on the other hand, took my dog for a 15-minute walk. I walked on the treadmill for 20 minutes. I ate lunch for half an hour. But anytime you get up to take a break from work, I want you to write it down and approximately how much time you spent on it. You're going to have a mix of things on this list. You're going to have justifiable reasons to take breaks, and you're going to have time wasters. And that's what we're trying to determine with this tracking of your breaks. Obviously, if you have kids in school and you have to take a break to get them on or off the bus, if you have a part-time job or a full-time job outside of this, obviously you're not going to be sitting working all day. If you're taking breaks to eat, go to the restroom, go exercise, just get up and stretch, justifiable. Spending an hour watching an episode on Netflix in the middle of the day when you should be working or scrolling through TikTok, probably a time waster and not a justifiable reason for a break. So you're going to write down every time you're not working and how much time you're spending on these things. At the end of the 2 weeks or 1 week, whichever you decide to do, I recommend 2 weeks to get more of a full glimpse of the full picture. If you just keep 1 week, I don't think you're getting as much of a glimpse into what you're actually doing. I mean, alternatively, you can do a whole 30 days. But at the end, go back through. If you have a highlighter, use a highlighter, or you can just circle with the pen or underline with a marker, whatever you want to do. But go back through your list of all the breaks you took and highlight or circle each item that is justifiable and necessary. Taking a break to go get the kids off of the school bus, necessary. Eating, necessary. So go down your list. You know, if you had a doctor's appointment or you had to go grocery shopping, those are all necessary and justifiable. So any of those you're going to highlight or mark in some way. Everything that you didn't highlight is a time waster. Now, I'm not saying there are things that you should never do. If you like scrolling through TikTok, take 15-minute break once a day and scroll through TikTok, or do it in the evening or when you're not supposed to be working. I love to read, but I don't read during my workday because that's not the appropriate time for me to be reading. Do I read while I eat lunch? Absolutely. I take a half an hour to 45-minute lunch every day, and I really sit and enjoy my food and I read a book. But that's my break time. So try to take those time wasters and put them in places that make sense. While you're waiting for the bus, you can be scrolling TikTok. While you're eating lunch, you can be watching an episode of your favorite show. While you're on the treadmill, you can be watching TV, listening to a podcast. If you go for walks, you know, that's the appropriate time. So this exercise is just to get a really good idea of where you're spending your time each day and separating those necessary things with time wastes. What time wasters can you get rid of completely out of your workday And the ones that you really enjoy doing, can you implement them in ways that make sense? Can you watch the TV at lunch? Can you listen to your podcast on the treadmill? So that is your homework. And do you guys remember the list that I had you make a couple weeks ago? I did the video of the 10 lists everyone needs. One of those lists I had you make was all the things you need to do every day and all the things you want to accomplish every day. Now is the time to figure out how to squeeze those in. Because as you're determining which time wasters you're going to take out of your day, you can then implement those things that you need to do or want to do that you're finding you never have time to do. We all have the same 24 hours, as the saying goes. It's how you spend yours. If you can determine where you're wasting this time, you can then do more productive things in that time. And it doesn't have to be all work all the time. I highly recommend people take breaks throughout their day, stretch, take a walk, get some exercise, make sure you're eating, take care of yourself. But don't waste time, if that makes sense. So once you're pulling all those time wasters out of your day, you can then implement those things from those other lists, the things you need to do and the things you want to do every day. You can replace scrolling TikTok with just a couple more listings a day. Or replace scrolling mindlessly through Facebook groups with scheduling listings for a day you know you're going to be running errands or not home, so you don't have to worry about listing that day. Can you replace sitting and watching TV with going for a walk and listening to a podcast instead, because it's a healthier choice? Just things like this that you want to think about. So go track your breaks for at least 2 weeks, a minimum of 1 week. I always recommend 2. You can do more, and you can do this all year, in fact. You can every week keep track of when you take your breaks, and at the end of the week, go back through and see where you're wasting time. Make those changes for the following week and keep doing it until you have actually established really good routines and habits and you've eliminated those time-wasting activities. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below, guys. And don't forget to join our Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. So go use your time wisely. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.